Captain Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of what everyone believed was a mining station. For 3 years, the Zephyrian Empire had been crushing human colonies across the outer rim. Their crystalline warships cut through Earth's defenses like paper, leaving nothing but debris and silence. The alien fleet possessed technology that made human vessels look like ancient toys. The communication console crackled to life. "Captain Kane, this is Admiral Victoria Cross from Earth Command. Authorization code Omega 77. Marcus felt his blood freeze. That code meant only one thing. Project Phoenix was finally active. Deep within the asteroid belt, what appeared to be a simple mining operation had hidden humanity's greatest secret. The massive rock that housed their station wasn't hollow by accident. For 20 years, the greatest minds on Earth had been building something unprecedented, using stolen alien technology and human innovation. All senior staff to briefing room. Immediately, Marcus announced. His voice carried across the station's corridors, reaching Commander Jake Mitchell, Chief Engineer Rosa Hernandez, and Flight Director Lucas Bennett. These people had served beside him for years, never knowing they were guardians of humanity's last hope. The briefing room filled with confused officers. Marcus activated the holographic display, and their jaws dropped. The asteroid around them dissolved away, revealing the true structure beneath, a colossal warship stretching 12 kilometers from bow to stern. The USS Thunderstrike had been hidden in plain sight. "This is impossible," whispered Rosa, studying the technical specifications. The ship's quantum reactors could power entire cities. Its metamaterial armor could deflect the strongest alien weapons. Most incredible of all were the fighter bays, 8 massive launch tubes capable of deploying 1,000 small craft simultaneously. Lucas stared at the fighter designs on his screen. "These aren't human ships. The technology is decades ahead of anything we've built." He was right. Each fighter incorporated adaptive AI systems, energy manipulation technology, and propulsion systems that defied conventional physics. They had been reverse-engineered from captured alien vessels and improved with human creativity. Jake examined the crew manifests appearing on his tablet. 40,000 personnel are being transferred here. We're a station of 200 people. How do we suddenly become a full battle fleet? The answer was simple but overwhelming. Volunteers from every nation on Earth had been training in secret for this moment. Marcus looked at his officers, people who had become family during their isolation. The Zephyrians are planning their final assault on Earth. Intelligence suggests they're gathering their entire armada for one decisive strike. We have 72 hours before the asteroid shell opens and reveals what we really are. Outside their window, automated systems began activating throughout the hidden ship. Reactor cores that had slumbered for decades started generating power. Manufacturing bays prepared to produce ammunition and replacement fighters. The USS Thunderstrike was waking up, and soon the galaxy would learn that humanity had been planning its own surprise. The massive transport ships arrived like clockwork, each one carrying specialists who had trained their entire careers for this moment. Captain Marcus watched through the observation deck as shuttle after shuttle docked with their hidden fortress. Fighter pilots from every major air force, engineers who understood alien technology, and Marines trained in zero-gravity combat streamed into the USS Thunderstrike. Commander Jake Mitchell coordinated the chaos of 40,000 new arrivals. "These people aren't confused recruits," he told Marcus. "They know exactly what this ship is and what we're supposed to do with it." Each crew member had been carefully selected and secretly trained. They understood the fighters, the weapons, systems, and the revolutionary technology that made the Thunderstrike possible. In the fighter bays, Flight Director Lucas Bennett watched his new pilots examine their assigned craft. Lieutenant Ryan Torres ran his hands along the smooth hull of his fighter, amazed by its seamless construction. "The AI doesn't just help you fly," explained his squadron leader, Captain Diana Walsh. "It learns from every battle, adapts to every situation, and shares that knowledge with every other fighter in the fleet." Chief Engineer Rosa Hernandez toured the ship's incredible systems with her expanded team. The quantum reactors operated on principles that seemed impossible. They converted matter directly into energy with perfect efficiency. The manufacturing bays could construct replacement fighters in hours using recycled materials from destroyed enemy ships. Most impressive were the shield generators, which created barriers that could absorb and redirect energy attacks. The weapon systems impressed everyone who saw them. The main guns fired concentrated plasma bolts that could pierce through multiple enemy ships. The missile tubes launched warheads with variable yield settings, from ship-disabling electromagnetic pulses to planet-cracking fusion explosives. But the most devastating weapons were the fighters themselves. Dr. Nathan Price, the ship's head scientist, explained the fighter technology to assembled pilots. "Your ships don't just fly, they think. The AI systems were developed using neural patterns from Earth's best pilots, combined with tactical databases from every major military engagement in human history. They predict enemy movements, optimize your flight paths, and coordinate attacks with mathematical precision." The pilots stared at their craft with new respect. These weren't just vehicles, they were partners. Each fighter could operate independently, but they worked best as part of the collective intelligence that connected the entire fighter wing. When 1,000 fighters launched together, they became a single adaptive organism. Marcus received updates from across the ship. "Reactor efficiency at 98%, Rosa reported. "All manufacturing systems online and ready for production." Lucas added, "Fighter wings organized and ready for combat trials." Jake confirmed, "All personnel assigned to stations and familiar with emergency protocols." The final piece of preparation involved revealing their true mission to the crew. Into the main assembly hall, Marcus addressed 40,000 people who would soon face humanity's greatest challenge. "For 3 years, we've watched our colonies fall to alien aggression. The Zephyrians believe humans are primitive, weak, and easily conquered. Tomorrow, we're going to prove them wrong." The hall erupted in determined cheers. These weren't scared refugees. They were humanity's finest warriors, equipped with technology that would astonish the galaxy. The USS Thunderstrike represented more than military might. It symbolized human ingenuity, determination, and the refusal to surrender in the face of impossible odds. As the asteroid shell began its final opening sequence, everyone aboard felt the vibrations of massive mechanical systems moving for the first time in decades. Soon, the galaxy would see what humanity had been building in secret. The asteroid shell split apart like a flower blooming in space, revealing the USS Thunderstrike in all its terrifying glory. 12 kilometers of sleek, angular hull emerged from the ancient rock, bristling with weapons that had never been seen before. The ship's dark metal surface absorbed starlight, making it appear like a void carved into space itself. Zephyrian Fleet Commander Zalthon was monitoring human communications when his sensors detected the massive energy signature. "Impossible," he hissed, his crystalline features reflecting confusion. "Humans don't possess ships of this magnitude." His fleet of 300 warships had been preparing for the final assault on Earth. Now something had appeared that challenged everything they knew about human capabilities. Captain Marcus Kane stood on the Thunderstrike's bridge, watching the alien fleet react to their sudden appearance. "All fighter wings, prepare for launch," he commanded. The ship's 8 massive bays opened like hungry mouths, revealing row upon row of sleek black fighters. Each craft hummed with barely contained energy. their AI systems already analyzing the enemy formation. Lieutenant Ryan Torres gripped his fighter's controls as the launch sequence began. Around him, 999 other pilots prepared for humanity's first major offensive action. The fighters didn't launch like traditional spacecraft. They were propelled by magnetic accelerators that sent them screaming into space at incredible speeds, invisible to most sensors until they were already among the enemy. Formation Delta 7 ordered Flight Director Lucas Bennett over the communication network. The fighters scattered across space in patterns that seemed random but were actually precisely calculated. The AI systems coordinating their movements had analyzed every Zephyrian battle tactic and developed counters that no organic mind could conceive. Commander Zalthon watched in growing horror as the human fighters moved through his formation. They didn't fly like any spacecraft he had encountered. They twisted, spun, and changed direction in ways that defied physics. His weapons officers couldn't get target locks because the fighters seemed to predict where his guns would aim. The first Zephyrian ship to fall was the heavy cruiser Shadketh. Ryan Torres and his squadron swarmed around it like angry insects, their weapons firing in perfect coordination. The cruiser's crystalline armor, which had deflected every human weapon for 3 years, cracked and shattered under the concentrated assault. The ship broke apart in brilliant flashes of light. "How are they penetrating our shields?" Zalthon demanded. His science officer studied the readings with growing alarm. "Commander, their weapons aren't using conventional energy frequencies. They're somehow phase-shifting their attacks to bypass our defensive systems." Chief Engineer Rosa Hernandez monitored the battle from the Thunderstrike's engineering section. The ship's manufacturing bays were already producing replacement fighters, while the original craft was still engaged in combat. "Fighter production rate exceeding projections," she reported to Marcus. "We can replace losses faster than the enemy can inflict them." The Zephyrian fleet found itself facing an impossible situation. Every tactic they employed was countered before they could implement it. The human fighters learned from every exchange, adapting their strategies in real time. When the aliens fired particle beams, the fighters developed evasion patterns. When they launched missiles, the human craft deployed countermeasures that turned the weapons against their own creators. Captain Diana Walsh led her squadron in a devastating attack on the Zephyrian flagship. Her fighters moved in perfect synchronization. Their combined assault focused on the ship's command tower. The crystalline structure that had commanded fear across the galaxy cracked like glass under the relentless barrage. Commander Zalthon felt his ship shuddering around him. "All ships, retreat to hyperspace," he commanded. But the human fighters had anticipated this move. They deployed some kind of field that disrupted the aliens' jump drives, trapping the fleet in normal space. In less than 2 hours, humanity had accomplished what seemed impossible. The mighty Zephyrian invasion fleet was either destroyed or in full retreat. The USS Thunderstrike hung in space like a dark angel of vengeance, its fighters returning to their bays with the satisfaction of total victory. News of the battle spread across the galaxy at light speed. The humans, dismissed as primitives for so long, had revealed technology that surpassed every known civilization. News of the Zephyrian fleet's destruction spread across the galaxy like wildfire. In the crystal spires of the Alterian Council, High Counselor Veltar watched the battle recordings with growing amazement. "The humans have achieved in one engagement what we thought impossible," she whispered to her advisors. "They've not only matched Zephyrian technology, they've exceeded it." Captain Marcus Kane received communications from across known space. The Corrivan Trade Federation wanted immediate diplomatic contact. The Nexus Alliance requested technical information exchanges. Even the mysterious Void Runners, who rarely interacted with younger species, sent messages of cautious respect. Humanity had gone from galactic joke to major power overnight. On Earth, President Catherine Mills addressed a planet in celebration. Today marks not just military victory, but the dawn of humanity's true place among the stars, she declared. The hidden shipyards that had built the Thunderstrike were no longer secret. Construction began immediately on 5 more vessels of similar design, using manufacturing techniques that could complete each ship in months rather than decades. Commander Jake Mitchell coordinated the massive influx of alien delegations requesting meetings aboard the Thunderstrike. "Sir, we have 17 different species wanting to establish formal relations," he reported to Marcus. "The Hegemony Council is offering us a permanent seat. The Trade Federation wants exclusive access to our manufacturing technology." Chief Engineer Rosa Hernandez found herself overwhelmed by scientific inquiries. "Every major civilization wants to understand our quantum reactors," she told her team. "The energy conversion efficiency we've achieved is apparently unprecedented. Some of these alien scientists are calling our technology impossible physics." Flight Director Lucas Bennett reviewed combat data with his expanded pilot corps. The AI systems had learned exponentially from their first real battle. "Our fighters are now 40% more effective than before the engagement," he reported. "The machine learning algorithms have identified weaknesses in every major alien ship design we encountered." The Zephyrian response was swift and desperate. Emergency. Council meetings produced frantic diplomatic overtures to other major powers. "The humans must be contained," insisted war leader Kreshtar. "Their technology represents an existential threat to the established order." But few civilizations were willing to risk confronting the species that had casually destroyed the galaxy's most feared fleet. Lieutenant Ryan Torres and his squadron mates found themselves celebrities throughout human space. "We went from barely surviving alien encounters to completely dominating them," he told reporters. "The fighters don't just make us better pilots, they make us part of something larger. When we fly together, we think together." Dr. Nathan Price published the first technical papers on human-AI integration, causing scientific revolutions across multiple species. "We didn't just reverse engineer alien technology," he explained. "We improved it using principles of adaptation and collective intelligence that organic minds struggle to comprehend." The economic implications were staggering. Human colonies that had been abandoned during the Zephyrian attacks were rapidly recolonized. Trade routes that had been too dangerous for years reopened under human protection. The manufacturing capabilities demonstrated by the Thunderstrike attracted investors from across the galaxy. Captain Marcus addressed the crew that had made it all possible. 6 months ago, we were hiding in an asteroid, pretending to mine rocks, while our people died. Today, we've changed the balance of power in known space, but this is only the beginning. Construction reports indicated that humanity's second warship would launch within 8 months. The USS Thunderstrike patrolled human space like a guardian angel, its presence deterring any thoughts of aggression. The fighter wings that had once been humanity's desperate secret now flew regular patrols, their black hulls serving as reminders that Earth's children would never again be easy prey. Alien analysts struggled to understand how humans had achieved such rapid technological advancement. The secret lay in humanity's unique approach to problem-solving. Instead of accepting limitations, they had spent 20 years systematically overcoming them, turning captured enemy technology into weapons far exceeding the originals. 1 year after the Thunderstrike's first battle, the galaxy had fundamentally changed. Captain Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of humanity's flagship, watching the construction of New Geneva Station, the largest space habitat ever built. The station would serve as humanity's diplomatic and trade center, a massive ring-shaped structure that could house millions of inhabitants from dozens of species. The fleet that had started with one hidden warship now numbered 12 vessels, each more advanced than the last. The USS Stormbreaker incorporated lessons learned from the Thunderstrike's battles. The USS Worldshaper featured improved manufacturing bays that could construct entire space stations. The USS Voidhunter pushed stealth technology to new extremes, becoming completely invisible to most sensors. Commander Jake Mitchell coordinated the Terran Defense Initiative, humanity's new military doctrine. "We're not conquerors," he explained to Allied commanders. "We're guardians. Every human ship is equipped for both defense and humanitarian aid." The policy had earned respect across the galaxy as human vessels routinely rescued stranded ships and provided disaster relief. Chief Engineer Rosa Hernandez led the technical exchange program, sharing carefully selected human innovations with allied species. "We've learned that cooperation accelerates progress faster than secrecy," she told the Galactic Science Council. "Our quantum reactor designs have been adapted by 17 different civilizations, and they've provided improvements we never considered." Flight Director Lucas Bennett commanded the Combined Species Fighter Wing, an elite unit featuring pilots from across known space, flying human-designed craft. The AI integration techniques work with any species that can interface with quantum computers, he reported. "We now have Corrivan, Alterian, and even reformed Zephyrian pilots flying alongside humans." The Zephyrian Empire had undergone complete transformation. After losing 3 more fleets to human forces, they requested peace negotiations. Former war leader Kreshtar now served as their ambassador to humanity. "We learned that strength through conquest is temporary," he admitted. "Humans showed us that strength through cooperation is infinite." Lieutenant Ryan Torres, now promoted to captain, led the Explorer Corps, specialized units that ventured into uncharted space aboard the most advanced fighters ever built. "We've discovered 12 new inhabitable worlds in the past 6 months, he reported. "Each one represents opportunity for species that need new homes or resources." Dr. Nathan Price received the Galactic Innovation Prize for his work on consciousness-machine interfaces. "Humans didn't just build better weapons," he explained to the assembled scientists. "We created a new form of intelligence, one that combines organic creativity with digital precision. This hybrid thinking will reshape every field of knowledge." President Catherine Mills announced the Terra Accord, a galactic constitution based on principles of mutual defense and shared prosperity. "Humanity offers protection to any species that commits to peaceful coexistence," she declared. "We've proven that even the smallest civilization can achieve greatness through determination and innovation." The economic boom continued expanding. Human-designed manufacturing techniques had increased productivity across allied worlds by an average of 300%. The trade networks protected by human warships carried goods and ideas between species that had never interacted before. Cultural exchange flourished alongside technological advancement. Captain Marcus received reports from across human space. New colonies thrived under the protection of orbital defense platforms. Research stations pushed the boundaries of physics and biology. Diplomatic missions established relationships with species from the galactic core to the outer rim. "We've gone from fighting for survival to leading galactic civilization," he told his crew. The USS Thunderstrike remained at the center of it all, a symbol of what humanity could accomplish when pressed to its absolute limits. The ship that had once hidden in an asteroid now served as flagship for the most powerful fleet in known space. But more importantly, it represented hope for any species facing impossible odds. As Marcus watched ships from a dozen different civilizations dock at New Geneva Station, he reflected on how far they had come. The secret project that began in desperation had become the foundation for a new age. Humanity had not just survived. They had shown the galaxy what was possible when intelligence, determination, and compassion worked together.